We've come a long way. And I am hit right now with gratitude for all of our fans and supporters over the past 5 years. I'm with Tony Schreiner, a fan. You used to be a fan. Now you're more than a fan.
Still a fan. Always a fan.
You've been a big supporter. Now you're the CEO. But I have a message for you guys today because it's good news. We've come a long way. I want to give you a little bit of context, what's been going on. So I remember in 2020 when we ran the Kickstarter, there was 1,571 of you who backed the Liturgy documentary, The Mass of the Ages, the very first. We thought it was one movie. We didn't know it was going to be 3. I remember Matthew Cantrell, our very first donor. As soon as we started the Kickstarter, you're like, I'm donating, because you're a great friend. I remember Jake Tate not asking for any payment, but just helping out with the digital stuff. Tom Shannon there in the early days as well. Jonathan Weiss, me and you talking on the phone. And this was a dream, right? The liturgy and the trilogy, the Latin Mass trilogy was all a dream that was as simple as if God wants it to happen, it's going to happen. And God asked many of you to support this project. So maybe you were one of those 1,571 original donors. Thank you. Maybe you were one of the 7,000 live viewers of episode 1 when it came out. I remember sitting in my kitchen in 2 houses ago with my wife. It premiered at night, and I was just dripping sweat. I was so nervous. I was like, what are they going to think? And, episode 1 was very different than what people expected. It ended with a cliffhanger. It's like, oh my gosh, now we're going to get into it. And then we worked our tails off to get episode 2 done, which then ended kind of in the cliffhanger. It's like, hey, we know all that. What about now? What about the Pope and the Latin Mass today? And then it was just, getting episode 3 done. So it was so much work, and it was because of your support that now we're here. We have the trilogy. It's been seen, just the trilogy, by nearly 7 million people. And every week, it's been out for years, but every week it's getting 5,000 views without us lifting a finger or doing anything. In between episode 2 and 3, we naturally asked, is episode 3 the end? I'm a filmmaker, so I have never been called to be Mr. Nonprofit CEO man. I'm called to be a filmmaker. But also, the Lord has called me and us to this mission to bring Catholic tradition to the world, so I'm grateful for that. But it was a question, like, what do we do after the trilogy ends? And we had a lot of crazy ideas. He said, maybe we'll do TradCon.
I remember that idea.
Yeah, I don't know, it's still a good idea.
It might happen.
We talked about doing an app, like basically becoming the Word on Fire, but for Catholic tradition.
Yeah.
It was never our calling. It was clear that we weren't called to do that. We're called to make films. Yeah. We did a priest training, which we'll get into. And then we had that announcement last year about these films we want to make, right? God Bread, Touching God, our next documentary, and then Discover Tradition, this travel show. Then what happened? Well, me and Tony moved to Ave Maria. In our minds, and John moved too, our editor. In our minds, it was, we're going to build a Mass of the Ages empire. Like, why did we say that? Well, we felt called to do something big.
Yeah.
We knew that God was calling us to something big. And I assumed it was, let's just increase the amount of stuff Mass of the Ages is making. And part of that was starting a studio, because a lot of other like nonprofit media companies have a studio side and a nonprofit side, and the studio arm, can raise investment money. So we tried that, and we were going to call it Pelican Studios, Why? Because there's been 3 times in Mass of the Ages history where we've gone into, quote, Pelican mode, which is we don't have enough money coming in. It's desperation time. I'm literally on the phone calling old ladies to say
We have no money for payroll. Yeah. There's no money for payroll.
Yeah, there's no money for payroll.
Yeah.
I need to call some donors we trust. So we've gone into, quote, Pelican mode because the pelican is, the animal that in the legend will give some of its flesh to its young to provide for its young. So we wanted to sacrifice for this mission. And all of this is going to make sense why I'm giving you all this context in just a little bit. It's been a heavy lift. It's been a struggle because we've had these big projects that we think Mass of the Ages needs to carry, like Godbread, this $3 million film, or Touching God, which is our next big documentary. Which, side note, I still want to make that, and I hope it's my next documentary I make. And then Discover Tradition. So you might be aware, we had a goal to set out. We didn't hit our goal, but God's will be done in all things. We can still raise the money for Discover Tradition. So tomorrow, next week, we could get a streamer deal. We could get a big donor. I'm not concerned at all. You guys are going to see the episode, and it's going to blow you away. Thank you for everyone who gave. And yeah, we can still make 51 more episodes of that. So we had these big projects that we assumed that would be, held by Mass of the Ages. But there wasn't enough donations coming in. So we couldn't continue. Until one day, the CEO of Pelican Plus calls us. And I think you know where this is going now with all my Pelican imagery. I'm excited to announce that we have a partnership with Pelican Plus. And what does that mean? So we're a part of uniting the trads, uniting the clans, whatever you want to call it. Early on, I remember, Timothy Flanders was actually the first show that had me on, like before the trilogy, like for the Kickstarter. First show that had me on. He's obviously part of Pelican Plus. I believe we're stronger together.
Right.
So what does that mean? You guys know we have a vault. It's a vault of a ton of content, 40 terabytes of footage, including interviews, uncut interviews with Taylor Marshall, Michael Knowles, 4 hours with Peter Kwasniewski. We've had that vault, and that is unsustainable. But Pelican Plus came in and said, well, how can we both benefit each other? We have all this content, and they have the ability to help us hit our financial goals. So it's a great partnership because we can put our vault, all that content, on Pelican Plus, and then we can continue to make ongoing content like interviews in the studio. We recorded a few already with people that come in town. And then you've heard of our series we're developing called Tradition Explained. So we're going to be making new content, and we have a ton of old content like that's in the vault, if you've seen it, that will go on Pelican Plus. But I want to be clear that our trilogy is always going to be free on YouTube. So there's going to be no barriers to watching it. It'll also be on Pelican Plus, but it's going to be free on YouTube. And then our priest training is going to be on Learn World still because it's a learning platform. And so our trilogy and our priest training, nothing's changing with those things. And that gets me to my next point, which is what this allows us to do, this partnership, is to simplify and focus Mass of the Ages. I mentioned earlier we had these big projects, big aspirations. We're moving to Ave Maria to make this empire for Mass of the Ages. And then we realized that what Mass of the Ages needs to focus on is the traditional Latin Mass. It was there all along. Yeah. And that's great because these other projects can still exist, but you can imagine it's difficult to raise the money needed for Discover Tradition or Godbread on $25 donations, which we're grateful to receive. but this kind of media costs a lot of money. So this allows us to simplify and focus on the supply of the traditional Mass, which is the priests. We're training right now 234 priests who are Novus Ordo priests. These aren't Latin Mass priests like the Institute that are just going through our training. We're training 234 Novus Ordo priests, seminarians, and deacons to celebrate the traditional Mass. 234. 173 of them have already completed our training. We even have a few bishops who have completed our training and have reached out to us.
And they love it.
Yeah, they do.
They love the quality.
Yeah, and there's 6,500 other users in the training. So what we want to do is continue. Mass of the Ages is dedicated to continuing the supply of the traditional Latin Mass, which is priests, and equipping them with these priest boxes, and increasing the demand. Now, I know some of you are like, well, where's episode 4? And what I want to say to you is the trilogy is the best way to introduce someone to the traditional Mass. And you're not going to have, it's not going to be the 4th film that takes someone over the edge, or that we don't have to make a decalogue of 10 films and then they'll finally get it. The trilogy is still an amazing piece that has something for everyone. And I believe that by promoting that trilogy, we will increase the supply or the demand for the traditional Mass. Because, yeah, 7 million people is a lot of people, but that's 1/1000th or whatever of the population of the world. So because 5 billion people consume media every day, like, okay, 5 billion, 7 million. Wow, okay. Let's increase this 1,000-fold, the viewership. So we have those two things in front of us. We're going to continue to pour fuel on the promotion of the traditional Latin Mass with our trilogy, with clips, uncut interviews, that kind of thing, with Pelican Plus, and then also increase the amount of priests who are trained and equipped to celebrate the Latin Mass. I mean, this other stuff we wanted to do is important, but it's a peripheral thing. It's not the main thing for Mass of the Ages. It's good stuff, but the main thing needs to be the main thing. And for Mass of the Ages, it's obviously the traditional Latin Mass. So this allows us to focus and simplify, and really we're stronger together. So we need your donations. We need you to continue to give, because we're able to keep the priest training operational. Training hundreds of priests isn't easy or cheap. And to keep promoting the Latin Mass, and to keep our Latin Mass Finder online, all those things, and to keep making content. We need the current monthly donors. Please continue to support. And if you've been on the fence about joining Pelican Plus and you're a fan of Mass of the Ages, there's no better time to do it. We had a vault, and it cost more than what Pelican Plus is charging.
Right.
Pelican Plus, it's $15.99 a month, right?
Premium membership is $15.99 a month, and
you'll get everything that was in our vault.
Everything, not only everything that's in our vault, but you'll get everything that they have, which we're talking about scores and scores of pieces of media from all of their collaborators, ones that you have heard of. In fact, you've heard of all of their collaborators on Pelican Plus, and maybe you've never heard of Pelican Plus. Maybe you're like, what are you guys even talking about? This is a great opportunity to go and check this out. It is the place to go for Catholic media that you can trust, because they don't do ads and they don't compromise. And that's the beauty of what we have, is that as Mass of the Ages is a nonprofit, Pelican Plus is a for-profit. And they are allowing us to continue our mission of supporting the traditional Latin Mass through the priest training videos that we currently have, through the priest boxes. We're literally the only lay apostolate in the world training priests. Not only that, but our videos are far more superior than what are out there from the Ecclesia Dei, who obviously are training priests, because they've told us that. So now we have the opportunity to continue our mission and bring revenue into the door through this partnership with Pelican Plus. So use that affiliate link.
Links in the description.
Links in the description. Or just go to Pelican Plus, check it out, and use the promo code MOTA, MOTA. And that's going to give you 5% off. So use that. When you use our promo code or use that affiliate link that's in the description, it gives us money, Cameron. It puts money in our account because they are a for-profit entity. This is the biggest win-win.
It gives MOTA money, not us.
Yeah, okay.
There's not a lot of money in this for us.
No. But it gives the nonprofit Mass of the Ages money.
It's another way to support Mass of the Ages. So, use the link in the description. You'll get all our Vault content and all their other content. That's a lot of stuff in Pelican Plus, a lot of high quality stuff.
And that's their goal. The goal of Pelican Plus is to give you one place that you can trust and not have to worry about. And if you go to some places out there, you don't know what you're going to see as far as ads or other videos that are recommended for you. You go to Pelican Plus, you don't have to worry about that. It's a place where traditional Catholics can go and trust. And that's the beauty of what they've created. And we're so pumped to be a part of them and to join them so that you can see all of the media that we have that's in the vault. And it was hard for us to promote that. It took so much effort and time and money, we couldn't promote it. Maybe many of you didn't even know we had a vault.
Remember, we were trying to build the word on fire for a tradition. We're like, we're going to do an app. We're going to do a TradCon. It's like
missiles.
We're going to print missiles. That is not our calling.
Right.
We make great movies and media, and Pelican Plus makes great apps and online interfaces and all that. And so it's a no-brainer partnership. We can continue doing what we're doing, and they're going to help us out, and we're going to help them out, and we're just stronger together. The other thing I wanted to mention is with Discover Tradition. So you guys have supported it. Those of you who have supported it, you're still going to be able to view it. I think today or whenever it's out. So if you've donated and to get early access, you will get a link. Mm-hmm. You'll get an email, right, and you can access it. You can watch the whole hour-long episode,
and it's awesome.
It is awesome. And then we're still going to release it free online for everyone, probably during Holy Week.
Yep.
So those things are still happening. And again, the trilogy is always going to be free online. The priest training is always going to be free online. And so that's what I want to say. It's a no-brainer. I'm happy to announce we are partnering with Pelican Plus. These guys are great. Timothy Flanders is my favorite. Who's your favorite? I'm just kidding.
Tim's been here, and so we're biased, but they're great
guys,
people. Yeah. And big thanks to Dan Sevigny. He's the CEO of Pelican Plus, and as the CEO of Mass of the Ages, he and I had to do a lot of talking and discussing and trying to figure out how to make this the best possible partnership. And we're just so thrilled about this because now we can continue what we're doing and even go further. We are working on translating all of our priest training into Spanish. There are so many more priests who speak Spanish than English. So if you could imagine, if we have over 6,500 individuals that are users for the Latin Mass University, and we have over 250 priests in Latin Mass University, imagine what we can do translating that into Spanish. So with this partnership, it will provide us with some revenue to be able to do things like that. Now, we're always going to need our monthly donors to keep donating for keeping the lights on and to keep paying for the editing and the work that's being done. But this is a godsend for us. So thank you to Dan and all of the team members of Pelican Plus. We're thrilled to be a part of your family. and we want to bring all of you with us. So please use the affiliate link that is in the description, or go to Pelican Plus and use promo code MOTA, MOTA. And by doing that, it supports Mass of the Ages nonprofit, and you get a discount for signing up. So we're excited about that, Cameron. This is definitely the thing that we needed in order to continue the mission.
God is just clear with us. He's always been clear with us. We are just following his will at each step, and it is a godsend.
Yes.
It allows us to focus and simplify. If we're focused on trying to build our own app, or trying to build our own whatever it is, or trying to do this media thing on the side, it's like then we can't make a big impact. Right. Now we can translate our training into Spanish. That's huge. One priest trained to do the Latin Mass is huge, because that's one more apostle of tradition out there in the world. And yeah, training now Spanish priests and all these things we can now focus on. I'm just really excited about that. So thank you, Pelican Plus. If you have any questions at all, let us know in the comment section. Send us an email, film@latinmass.com. Any questions or concerns? I mean, this is like a no-brainer, so I don't even know what concerns you might have. But like I said, trilogy is free. The priest training is nothing's changing with the trilogy or the priest training or the first episode of Discovered Tradition. So the way I see it, we're putting our vault into Pelican Plus, and the future content we make will also be on Pelican Plus. So it's a no-brainer, and I'm excited to partner with Pelican Plus on this.
Excellent. Yeah. And not to mention the priest boxes, which is another important part of training priests. I don't know of anybody else in the world who is providing a box to give to a priest that will allow them to be able to celebrate a low mass, because they don't have the maniple, they don't have the missal, the altar cards. We have that all in one box. And so we need your continued donations. And again, thanks to the team at Pelican Plus, we will receive revenue that will help fund these priest boxes. It will help fund translating the Latin Mass University videos into Spanish. It will help fund new trainings, high mass training, server training. These are all things that we still need your help with. So please continue supporting Mass of the Ages. That supports the traditional Latin Mass, and not just here in the United States, but all over the world. And please join Pelican Plus. Click on that affiliate link that's in the description, or go to Pelican Plus and use the promo code MOTA, MOTA, and you're going to be blown away by all of the content that you see there, and it's safe. You don't have to worry about anything creeping in there and hitting your eyeballs. It shouldn't hit your eyeballs. The team at Pelican Plus is legit. They're wonderful. They're collaborators, and they're going to keep growing. They've only just begun. So let's grow together with Pelican Plus. And Cameron, we're just pumped and thrilled to be able to offer this to our supporters.
That's right. All of this belongs to the Lord anyways. So thank you for your support. Thank you for everything you've done for Mass of the Ages. And the best is ahead of us. I believe that. Thanks, guys.
Amen.
Peace.
See ya.